go into the main part of the presentation now because we did start late. So Kim and Darren are going to come up and speak now. Kim's been in the industry for over 17 years. She just co-authored a book with Arnold Schwarzenegger called Think Big, Learn Learn how to thrive in life and business in a rapidly changing world. I think that's it. You know, so like I said, these two come with a lot of experience. Darren's been in the business now over 12 years, doing CRM and customer systems for businesses. So combined, we've got nearly 30 years of experience coming here to speak. So, you know, and they're going to actually talk about how 90% of the businesses stuff up their either their social media or website content. So if you give a warm hand, please, for Darren and Kim.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone?
Good morning, Darren.
Hey, before we get started, just want to go back in time a little bit. Has everyone, or has anyone seen the movie Field of Dreams? Yes. You know, the old Kevin Costner movie?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And in the movie, there's a famous line in the movie, you know, it's called, "Build it and they shall come."
Yes.
And I think that relates a lot to online business at the moment, in the sense that people think that they've got to go blog, they've got to go social media, and they don't know exactly what to do, but they think if they put it out there, that people are going to come to their posts, people are going to come to their websites, and they're going to be found. It's one of the outstanding myths of the industry, I think, and Kim's going to delve into that in a little bit. So it's not, we want to go back a little bit in time. We want to go back and we want to talk about the things before you actually go start posting content today. So it's really important that you take some of these things into account. So it's not about posting on social media. It's not about how many times you post on social media. It's not about the times that you post on social media. There's a lot of other things that we want to take into account first. And Kim's going to delve into that a little bit. I think Dave's introduced us, so we won't worry about a little bit of our background. So basically, I'll delve a little bit into it. We're the Brady Bunch in a bit, if you could say that. We've got 6 kids between us, 2 grandkids. We need more than a minibus to drive us around, which is quite interesting at times.
One of the ages.
At least the car. We can have one. So my background, I started in professional sport for 7 years, been in business for 27 years, a number of different businesses. Like Dave was saying, 12 years online now, CRMs and that's sort of my field. Kim's 17 years in marketing. Her specialty is digital marketing, SEO and content, so which is what we want to delve in today. So without further ado, when Kim comes around online, I've got to turn it on first. Yeah. So we're going to delve into, that's her book, by the way. Yeah, well done.
It's supposed to turn up on Monday, so it's floating around
Somewhere in the month.
We want signed copies.
Yeah, we'll give you one.
when it turns up, for sure. Okay, so on the internet, there's about 4.5 billion pages, website pages. Okay, so that's worldwide, and your website or your social media or something or other like that, that's what it's got to compete with. So what you need to do is look at what you can do to stand out. Okay, so just in Australia alone, just some stats, you've got 85% of people in Australia have internet access. Okay, so we're actually quite, even though our internet speed may not be on par with the rest of the world, as far as using internet, we're right up there as far as the percentage of Australians using the internet. Okay, and it's increasing. Okay, so apparently approximately 19.4 million are on mobile.
Wow. That's 2 for everyone.
12.1 million social media users. Now these are Australian stats, so this isn't worldwide. And the Australian e-commerce market value is approximately 32.56 billion. Okay, and we're slow to start spending online, and that also is increasing. Okay, and at the moment we've got over 2 million actively trading businesses. Okay, so that is of June 2016. So the statistics basically is that there wasn't a great deal of new businesses, so the new businesses have reduced, but the actual stability of businesses has stabilised. So there's not that many businesses that have dropped out compared to rising. So it is rising, and businesses are actually getting a little bit more successful with the statistics. Okay, so less than 50% of businesses have an online presence.
Really?
Still. Even less have a digital marketing strategy. And the majority of them have what is equivalent to what I call an online business card. Okay, so the only way people are going to find you is if you give them your business card. So you've basically got a business card online. Okay, so when you're looking at a digital marketing strategy, you need to plan with purpose. Okay, so just going out there, throwing things out, just going, oh, okay, I'll try this, I'll try that, somebody's told me to do this, somebody's told me to do that. You need to plan with purpose, you need to build to automate, okay, because it can take so much of your time. You know, people get lost in Facebook, they get lost in Instagram, and they're marketing tools, they're not necessarily selling tools. So while you need to use them, they're not necessarily going to make you money, okay? They're the tools you use to put the steps in place to make you money. Okay, so you need to then grow to monetize. Okay, don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's a lot of different things you can do to bring in multiple income streams, even if you've only got 1 or 2 products. And then you rinse and repeat. Okay, so you don't want to take on the world. You want to have a look and see what part of your business you can target, niche in on them, get that working, and then rinse and repeat. So own your search, I call it. So own your little section of the search, rinse and repeat, and grow out, instead of trying to go too broad and attack everything. Okay, so you have to keep posting new content, and you may have heard that. Post new content, okay, so you've always got to be putting up, but what, you've got Facebook, Instagram, website posts, blogging, but nobody really tells you what to post. So we're in information overload, okay? There's so much stuff on Facebook, there's so much stuff in search. If you don't post or do your content with purpose, you're just contributing to that information overload that nobody's ever looking at, nobody's reading, okay?
And probably the biggest thing is most people are just posting about themselves and not actually posting about their customers or what their customers are actually looking for. They're posting it from their business's perspective.
Okay, so you've all heard of the 80-20 principle? Okay. So content marketing, with the way I look at it, is the internet, your social media and everything else is a tool. It's no different to smoke signals back in the day, way back in the day. It's communication. You're just using the tool to communicate with people for a purpose. Okay, when you go to a networking meeting, you're communicating with that person for a purpose, whatever it might be. It may not be to sell products, it may be to build your brand, it may be to start building a network of your own, get yourself out there, depending on what stage of your business journey you are. Okay, so what you need to look at is, what is your purpose? Why are you posting? Are you just posting just because somebody's told you to? I think they say you should post 5 times a day on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're posting 5 times a day on Facebook and nobody's engaging with that content, what's the sense? If you're putting on content on your website because somebody said, oh, you've got to put up a new blog post every day, and nobody's reading it or taking any action on it, what's the sense? Okay, you're just wasting your time and you're contributing to that information overload. Plus people start, the boy who cried wolf. People start, especially Facebook Lives at the moment, I'm seeing so much of that at the moment. You've actually got to click on it to listen. You see somebody's face and you know they're talking about the same thing over and over again, Facebook's such a, especially on your mobile, you just go on past, you go, oh, okay, that person's talking, you go. Okay, so you need to capture the people's attention in that first couple of seconds, otherwise they'll just scroll on by. Just made me think of Tinder actually. There's a huge thing going on about Tinder. Swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right.
You even know about Tinder.
I've got children.
Classic.
Okay, so you need to know what is your purpose, who are you targeting, okay, who are you talking to, where do they hang out? They may not always be on Facebook. You may be thinking, oh, okay, I've got to be on Facebook, but they may not be there. So where do they hang out?
What do you mean by that, Kim?
Okay, so motorcycle niche, for instance, those guys are not hanging out on Facebook. They're out on their bikes. Okay,
So you smoke signals for them.
Come this way.
if you're targeting a more business market, you would probably be wanting to do more work on LinkedIn. Okay, if you've got a very visual, and maybe a female market with, like one of my clients, that's the new addition for the nails, so that's a bit of a, that's going to be up on a website soon. They're very bright. My granddaughter absolutely adored them, tried to eat them. Nice. But you want to stand out, okay? And in that, Instagram is a good one for that. Okay, a visual post, and that's the market for females with their bling.
Well, yeah, like restaurants and that might be Instagram as well.
Yep.
Like Arlene's fruit and veggies, you know, I saw a great, there's a video the other day of yours, Arlene, unpacking the truck and that, and things like showing your fruit and veggies. Great
So
on
is that
Instagram.
alright? Because I look at that and I went, well, that's pretty boring.
That was good,
It's real.
shows you the latest things on the video. It was good.
And it's different,
Yeah.
And it's real. That's what-
and it's real, and it's different, yeah.
So then-
Yeah. So what you can do that is different to what they would expect, it's pattern interrupt, okay? It's not just doing what everybody else is doing. Okay, then you need to ask yourself, why do they really want your product and service? Now, people get emotionally attached normally to their product or service. The person who you want to buy it, they don't really care about it. Okay? So why would they want your product or service? And then how will you communicate your message to them? What makes you outstanding? Okay, what makes you different? How are you going to attract their attention in the first couple of seconds?
Can you just go back? Sorry. I was waiting for one more.
Obviously, I'm bad at this
And
stuff.
I'm writing. Call me crazy.
You can't do that last slide because I'm having a coffee this morning.
So yeah, you have to look at while you're doing that, look at like Glenn at the moment, he's got some great services out at the moment. Was it 10 gig of data and $45 a month for Telstra?
Yeah.
Like you try and get that on Telstra at the moment, with service that I don't think you get from another provider inside of the telecommunication industry. So his service is outstanding and he's got a price to go with it, you know.
And to do something different, we're actually going to be interviewing Glenn after this meeting here to answer questions. Like when I'm on client calls daily at the moment, I'm getting asked about NBN.
Really?
Businesses are asking me just about every call now.
Terrified of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified, don't know what to do. Most of them are turning around and saying that it's rubbish, it's not fast, it's why
That's
do I
what the
have
screen
to?
notice, isn't it? Every time you turn on the TV, oh,
I thought it was what-
and Facebook, you know,
Well, last month, I think the TIO registered 170,000 complaints about NBN.
I you explain.
Wow.
It's not-
170. And they're the ones that got upset. That actually got on the phone and
How many people are on the NBN?
We're bringing on, I think it's roughly about 40,000 a week.
Wow.
Actually, the ACCC is going to be investigating Telstra for non-providers and non-provisional false advertising?
It's a really interesting question, but it's like everybody only sees the dark side.
Yeah.
You're not seeing the light side, there is
And
actually a light
that's
side.
exactly what you need to do. So instead of getting out there and going, hey, I've got this product, I've got this package, it's absolutely amazing, it's got this, 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 this and this,
You know, who cares?
that's not what people are after. They want these other questions answered.
What's it
Okay?
do for me?
How can you sell them a package when they've got all these unanswered questions
Yeah.
that you need to address?
You need to
first?
answer their questions. You need to
Yeah.
actually make them feel safe.
Well, that's what we're
in
gonna
the-
try and
in
sort
the
That's what we're
business.
going to do that's what we're going to do this morning after we finish here. We're going
Well,
to delve into that a bit more.
We moved from Optus, which is pretty good, to Glen. We've got everything with Glen, except my son didn't start the contract with Optus. But everything is with Glen and will be. We're upgraded to that super fast one. But the thing I like
So are
about
we.
it is,
Yeah.
I know the man, he's local, and this is what his sales are all about. And he's good and he's approachable. As well as that, Lonnie's is very approachable. Mary loves us.
Best service and best
And
service.
that comment there is what Glenn should be getting and promoting as well, because it's,
That's what I was
no
saying.
matter what you
Yeah.
do marketing wise, your word of mouth referrals or your word
Yeah,
of
word of
mouth
mouth,
marketing
yeah.
is always going to be the most powerful.
Because 75% of the franchises that are in Australia are actually out of the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Not out of Brisbane, out of the Gold Coast. They all live on Main Beach.
Okay, so once you know the answers to these questions about your solution, your product, you then need to turn it all around and put yourself in your customer's shoes. Okay, so stop thinking of a service or product provider and start thinking about them. Put yourself in their shoes. What is their problems, their wants, their needs and their frustrations? Okay?
Hang on, oh, sorry again. Keep waiting for that last stop point.
There'll be a video later that we'll be putting out, so you'll be able to get all this later if you like.
So if you do something, I was teaching.
Rub it out.
No,
Yep, so you need to
Oh, I
focus
take
on
photos.
them. Okay, so not just. Yeah, so most people don't know what the solution is, nor do they care. Okay? They don't really care about your solution. They just care about their problem and they want it fixed. Okay? A lot of them don't even know what their problem is. And that's why they're Dr. Googling. Okay? To try and find out even what the problem is before they go to the next step of looking for a solution. Okay, so if you can show them that you understand their problem better than they do themselves,
Yep.
they're going to trust you with the solution. Okay. So the reticular activation system, or the RAS. Okay, so has everybody heard of that?
Sounds good.
You know, our brains are big, powerful, we can process all these billions of
Brains.
information, but we can't, because then we just go into computer meltdown. So basically, we've trained our brains from this big to focus on the things that are important in our everyday life or in our subconscious. So most people teach RAS, so if you look at coaches and mentoring, most people teach RAS from the point of view of having a look at your own RAS to grow. What I teach is having a look at your client's customers' RAS so that you can actually get through it. Okay, so grandkids were turning 1. It was like an exciting point of time, but I wasn't organising the party. I was paying for the cake, but I wasn't ordering the cake. Okay, so I had no of it. Yeah, I know. Bonus.
That's right.
I don't watch TV, and if I do watch TV, I don't watch ads. Okay? And that came up on TV, and it was of a cake. And all of a sudden, I'm watching this ad. Now, I didn't know I was thinking about cakes, and cakes were going round and round in my brain, but next minute, that ad got through my RAS because subconsciously I've got a cake on my brain. Okay? So it got through that, and I'm looking at this cake then, and I'm thinking, oh wow, actually that's a local service. Hey Tammy, cake bought.
Yeah.
And paid for.
Yeah, what about even the ads? We were watching your granddaughter the other day, and she's got her phone out, and she's on YouTube.
So she's 2.
So, right,
Yeah.
you want to tell the story?
She's got my phone. She's found a channel. Now, I don't watch YouTube on my phone, so it's not set up. She's found, she's got a bit of a Spider-Man thing going on at the moment. Found this Spider-Man, saved the channel. Actually, your niece did the same thing as well, and she's 3.
Yeah.
Saved the channel, subscribed me to the channel, started playing the video, and he's in the corner clicking on the skip ad, skip ad, skip ad, skip ad, skip ad.
2. Yeah.
She's 2, and she already knows to skip the ads.
Yeah. So there's
And she can do all the other stuff before you even get to the skip
So
ad.
just my daughters, my boys sort of have picked up the technical gene, but my daughters haven't. So it's not like they're on their phones teaching and doing and everything like that. They're not phone and technically minded. So here's this 2-year-old going, yep, I want to see that. Take me to the movie. Okay, so getting through the RAS is really important. So it probably drives Darren nuts. I watch TV.
that language.
What's that, sorry?
Alright, all language based. Drive him nuts.
Crazy. So I am consciously all the time assessing people's ads, having a look, and I've always been quite good at putting myself in somebody else's shoes, so I haven't had to do a great deal of training to be able to do that. But I'm also always having a look, and with clients and everything like that, how is the customer going to perceive that message? How can you tweak it a little bit to get that message across, to make it about them? Because we're a society of people that we're about me. Okay, me, what's in it for me? So when we're looking at attracting customers, we need to also look at it as in what's in it for them. Rather than, hey, my product's so awesome, of course they're going to want to buy it just because I tell them to. Okay, and what stage of engagement are they up to? So I call it the dating cycle. Are they blind date? Are they not even at the blind date yet? So I guess we're coming back to Tinder here.
Swipe right.
Are they swiping right? Or are they starting to, do they have an awareness of you? Do they know who you are? Do they like you? All those sorts of things. So you want to know at what stage of engagement they are with you to know how to tell you your message to them. So if you're just on a blind date with someone, you're not going to ask them to marry you. Okay? You need to court them.
Beg to differ
Is
there.
that where you've been running on, Julie?
Disagree.
I know one couple met and got engaged that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he got through, he or she got through the race.
Well, they're in Vegas at the time.
And they're still together.
And was there alcohol involved?
Together, and that's about 30 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's the only time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way off normal.
Normally wouldn't happen. Normally they'd be running out the door. Okay, so you need to know at what level, at what stage of the engagement they are with you. So you don't want to hit them up with a sale if they don't even know who you are. Okay. So there's 3 types of search queries, and you also need to know what the user's intent is. Okay, so we'll go through the 3, but there's navigational, and these are your hot guys, okay? So these are the ones that you're pretty much ready to propose to. You've got your transactional searches, and they're warm, okay? So they're kind of in the middle of the dating thing. They're still tying up, you know, yes, we'll go on like another couple of dates, but yeah, no, we're not looking at engagement or marriage just yet.
So Kim, what would be a navigational search and what would be a transactional search?
Yeah, we'll go through those, yeah, just in a sec. And then you've got your informational cold. Now, these are the guys that don't know what they're looking for, don't know what their problem is. They're Dr. Googling. Okay, and when I'm saying Google, I'm incorporating searching on Facebook, looking on Facebook, and all the other, I was going to say million, but probably trillions of platforms out there. Okay, so your navigational queries. Now this is where they know who you are, either by word of mouth marketing. So they're your bike sales, your eBays, your trading hosts. You generally are looking for the name. So this is the brand. You know them, say like you might have heard of ComChoice. You're looking for ComChoice. Okay. They're your hot traffic because they've either been referred to you, or they know about you, they've already got a level of a relationship with you. Okay? Now, of course, they could be looking for you to complain or something, but generally they already know about you from some higher level of engagement. Okay, so the best way to target these queries is by increasing your brand's awareness of vanity numbers. Okay, so Facebook having more likes, Instagram having more followers, website having more visitors, so that you own your search for your brand name. So if somebody is looking for you and they're not finding you, and they're finding your competitors who are really good at getting through the RAS, you potentially lost that customer to your competitors. So you need to own your search.
Can I just explain that for a minute? Just owning your search?
Yeah, so basically if somebody's searching you and you've got your brand name, and I don't actually have an example of this one, but when we create these, our hub sites, we actually use 7 social media platforms. Now we don't actively use them all. The ones we're not using, we automate. But we set them up so that they're actually branded to own your search. So if you've got 7 social media platforms, plus your website coming up for your brand name search, there's only 10 positions on Google. That only leaves 2, and you can generally fill those. So if somebody's searching for you and you own that first page, you're gonna look like you know what you're talking about. Okay, so it is vanity, but vanity is also important because, dare I say, as a society, we're a bit of sheep. We don't often go with the unknown unless somebody has referred them. We like to go with somebody that's got a bit of authority, a bit of trust. We wouldn't generally go for the unknown guy that's just starting out.
Page number 8.
Yes. We don't get to page number 8.
Lucky if you get to page 2.
Okay, so owning your search is about owning your name, your brand. Okay, owning your business brand. So if somebody's searching you, you're coming up and it looks impressive. Imagine if somebody's searching you, somebody's searching ComChoice, they do a search and you're not there, that is not showing your authority. And that's just sort of the way the perception of online is going. Okay, so building all that up, making sure that when somebody's looking for you, you look great, you look impressive, you own it, and you own your search. So owning your brand's navigational query. Okay. So these, we've just been through hot traffic, they're potentially easier to convert, so that's why we call them hot. They're a lot easier to pitch a sale to because they're looking for it. They're basically expecting it.
Another example of that is, say we meet here today, we exchange cards, Arlene gives me her card, her website's on there, I'm going straight to her site. So, because we've met today, we know each other, it's like hot traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is your transactional search. And these are the ones where people generally know what the solution is that they're looking for. And they're doing comparison. Now, some people would think that this was your hot traffic. I'm actually saying it's your warm traffic because in this particular one, you're going up against people in the price market. Okay, so when people are doing the transactional searches, they're looking for differences in cost, difference in pricing, or it might be they're looking at who's closer to them. So they're not actually looking at you or your brand and coming to you, otherwise they'd be searching on you directly with the navigational search. These guys are price comparison or their benefit comparison. So if you're looking for an air conditioner, you know you want a Dayton air conditioner and you know what brand, make and model, and you're going and searching on that, you're looking on price, you're looking on installation, ease, all those sorts of things. Okay, so you're basically going up against everybody else. So so location searches, product service searches, service searches, they know what they want or they know what they need to fix their problem. They're just looking for the best option to go with. Okay, the conversion for these Sorry? You don't want to, generally you wouldn't want to get into a price war. Okay, so what you want to be doing is adding value. Okay? Add value, add ease, this is once again where it comes into knowing your target market. What are problems that they face that you know that nobody else is doing that you can easily implement and wow them because they go, wow. One that comes to mind is, you know, there's a little bit of a thing of, you know, booking a tradie and the tradie doesn't turn up on time. Okay? Pop in a guarantee that you will be there when you say you're going to be there. Don't, you know, bring out the monkey in the room. Bring it straight forward and know what their issues are and address them and do it better.
Really big one there is the shoe market, for example. Quite a few years back there was, you know, everyone could buy shoes at all sorts of different shops, and there was a company called Zappos that come out and they did it differently. They basically, you could buy online, they would send you the size either side of what you want and you sent back the two that you didn't. And they allowed you to do that. They didn't charge you for the three of them, they charged you for one. And there was an honesty thing that you would send it back, so they were giving you an experience online to buy shoes that no one else was doing, so they did something a little differently.
Are they still around, Derek?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Massive company.
There's also the dollar shave pot.
Yep.
You know, different things, just
Just doing it a different way.
Just doing it a different way.
Solving problems for their customers and
Rather
providing
than
an
selling solutions.
outstanding experience. Yeah.
How did they get them back though?
They sent a bag for them to send back.
They make it very easy for them to send
Yeah,
it back.
really?
Put the two in a bag, postage paid for, sent back. Yeah.
Just make it really easy for them. People will pay for convenience, you know, and they will pay more than.
Well, if you've ever received a pair of shoes online and they don't fit,
Well,
where are you going next time?
how many people would not buy shoes online for that factor of,
Yeah.
oh geez, you know, I've got weird shaped feet, one's bigger than the other and I'm going to put them in these shoes, there's no way it's going to work, I need
Yeah.
to try them on.
Yeah.
They've built a multi-billion-dollar business around
Yeah.
that.
Very clever.
Yeah. So the next one is, and that's because they knew the issues, what would stop people buying from it.
So it's like they've gone backwards, isn't it? You know, here's the problem, how can we solve that
Well,
problem?
that's what marketing is.
Yeah.
That's what selling product is.
Yeah.
Find
So
a
you need
solution
to
to
think of your
somebody's problem.
solution
And
first
thinking
to
out of
know
the
your
square,
purpose.
yeah, like that's.
And then work backwards, absolutely. Okay, and then your information searches. So these guys, these are the ones that are doctor Googling. They don't know what their problem is. All they know is, hey, look, you know, I've got a bit of a headache this morning. Don't know what it is. Could be a tumour, could be a tumour, could be a tumour. And they're actually just trying to find out what their problem is. And these are the ones where these are cold traffic. But sometimes it's also good to get your product or your service or you're more selling your knowledge of the information that you're providing. Selling that you're an expert, that you know your stuff. And you're actually getting them before they're in that price comparison stage. Before they're in that brand stage. Okay, so when I built the motorcycle sales portal 2008, I think it was, when I first started it, I went up against bike sales. Now they owned the brand search. Okay, people went to bike sales. They didn't go to Google, or if they went to Google, they put in bike sales. Okay, so that's what I was up against when I decided that I was going to create a portal. I was going up against a really, really big brand name, okay, who owned their search. So what I needed to do was come up with other reasons why they would come to me and start filtering in on those areas where they were not owning the search. Fortunately for me, because a lot of these big brand names, because they own that brand search, they don't do a lot against all the other little searches where people are asking, how do I fix my motorcycle seat, or how do I do this, or how do I get my learner legal license? So that way you're helping them, you're providing value, you're building a relationship, so when they go to buy,
They come to you.
they're coming to you because you've actually helped them through the journey. Okay, you haven't hit them on the head with a buy this, buy this, buy this.
Well, especially if you've got a product where someone might buy it every year or 2 or 3 or 5 years. It's like, how do you keep a relationship in there
Yeah.
with them so that you're still on the top of their lips when they want to buy something again? Like real estate, for example, you might buy a house every, David, 7 to 10 years maybe. And so how do you keep on the top of the lips? A big providing things like you were saying there.
So it's about 30 sites, some of them monetised, some of them not, some of them just providing value. And some of them actually was able to be monetised separately from the main bike sales portal or motorcycle sales portal. So by providing that value, I was actually able to add additional income, which actually became the bread and butter. Okay, so the sales from the portal actually became the cream. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, the best way to target information and searches is with high quality, helpful information relevant to queries that potential clients would use related to your product and services. Okay, so value. Answer their questions, help them out, you know. If you've got a friend who you ask for help and they continually got something else on and something else, yada, 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 that's not going to help your relationship. But if you're actually helping them out and you're providing value, it may not come back to you from them, but it might come back to you indirectly. So even in our personal lives and everything like that, providing value, passing it on, what goes around comes around, one way or another. If you're all about you and you're focused on yourself and you're focused on me, how can I get more money, how can I do this, how can I do that, chances are,
You're going to attract those people.
yes, absolutely. Okay, so these are your cold traffic, and as I said, to me, they're the most exciting. Okay, because you can build up your warm traffic and your hot traffic with your cold traffic, and you can actually funnel them back up to the hot traffic. So you've got probably not the right wording, but you've got a little bit more control of that journey as you funnel them to the sale. So, or if we go back to the dating game, from the blind date to the marriage proposal. Okay.
Just have to.
Yep. Okay, so you need to know their search intent. Are they even looking? Do they know they are searching? If they do, why are they searching? And how can you communicate your message in a way that will get through their raise and grab their attention? You've got about 10 seconds, if that. Let's say 4 to 10 seconds, depending on what platform we're looking at, to grab their attention before they're off onto the next step. You think of the Facebook feed, compare it to the highway. 120 k's an hour. Oh, 110 k's an hour. What attracts your attention as you're going past up the highway at that speed? What billboards are jumping out on you? All those sorts of things. That's your Facebook feed, especially on the mobile. They're going like this. If you don't grab and get through their raz, they're not going to stop. And all you really need to do is just get them to slow down enough to take an interest. That's first step. Then, of course, your content needs to provide value. So how can you be outstanding? Okay, so just a quick case study. Now, this would be so much better if I had live and on the internet. So this is a Gold Coast dance company. They've got a very unique USP, call to action.
Big selling proposition.
So, yes, thank you. So it's learn to dance to any music with any partner on any size dance floor and have fun while meeting new people. So they're not your traditional dance, come in, learn the steps, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're actually teaching you so that you can learn to dance and get up in a social situation and not make an idiot of yourself. Okay, so it's not about, you can compete and go through the stages with them, but they're more about teaching you to be able to competently dance. We went to the Midnight All concert on the weekend, so you're not dancing like Peter Garrett. No offence to Peter Garrett, he did really well. 64 and I can't even dance like him. Okay, so basically just a couple of quick examples of some content, okay? So these two here, so we've just started doing some Facebook things to actually get engagement, okay? So these guys have had their Facebook page going for quite some time and they've just been posting because they've been told to post, okay? So, have we got plans? Oh, look. Okay, so 261 people reached. 7 likes, 2 comments, not really engaging. Now, if we have a look at it, one of the most famous compositions, Tango per Una Cabeza, what is your favourite dance music? I would instantly go, I can't comment on that, I'm not liking that because I'm going to look like an idiot because I don't know. So it's all about me. When I'm looking at the post, I'm not going to comment that, I'm going to look like a fool. Okay? Same with this one. Which is your favourite Sinatra song?
Our kids would be going, who's Sinatra?
Once again, I'm not going to comment on that. Not only do I not know what my favourite song would be, I don't even quite know what he sings.
And when's 1962? They're all the old people.
That doesn't say that these posts are a waste of time because he has still got some comments and these are his existing students who are commenting on it. So he is still creating some engagement from his existing students. So they're not a waste of time, but they're just not targeting for growth. Okay? So we had a look and go, right, okay, how do we create some more engagement? So this one here, you'll see, we're on the path, 535 people reached.
Yep.
We've got 20 likes with a few little loves and whoa reactions. Not even their video. So they've just shared it. Okay, so they didn't have to create the content. Having a look to see what other people like. I don't know if you can see that there, that's 39 million views. So chances are people like that video.
Yeah.
So let's share it. It's got to do with dancing. If you saw the video, it's actually pretty cool. It's a son and his mum. It's got that happy, joy feeling. It's about having fun, dancing, exactly. And it started getting some views.
Do you know, years ago I shared a recipe, same thing, and it was to make muffins really quickly and easily. You just chucked everything in the muffin tins and cooked them. We had about, 1,000 people on Facebook then. It went out to over 5,000 people. It was still, I wish I could
went viral
replicate.
that
Yeah,
time.
it was crazy. And again, not mine.
Yeah.
Not my recipe.
So these guys are amazing. This was on the 16th of October. So sorry, I didn't have the date. I didn't show the dates for that. So this is only in the space of a couple of days. So that's the 16th of October. This is their next post. This little girl is the cutest. She has got the moves. She is so amazing. Once again, not their content. We've gone down to 1,000 people reached. 57 likes or reactions, which means they looked at it, and a whole heap of comments there where people are actually tagging their friends.
Yes.
Okay, so this one here, although still on the path, this one here is the next day after the one previously. So watch what you post, have a look at the reactions, see if people are doing, and if you don't get any, don't go, oh, geez, I didn't get any likes, because we all do that.
Yeah.
Just go, right, okay, my message was wrong. How do I change that around? That hasn't got through their RAS. Let's switch it up a bit. Let's change it up. And it could be the video's not right or the picture's not right. It could be, I mean, she hasn't gone to a great deal of trouble there with her comment.
Go on with it.
If you watch it, it's awesome.
Oh, she's such a cool little dancer. Okay. Now, I won't get into this now because we've run out of time. We'll be going through this a fair bit at our workshop and different things. Another thing you can do then is share that out. So we've had the call. They've done this on the 17th, which was the day before.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So Facebook's got a lifespan. They go down, posts disappear. What I've done is I've then shared it. So this post has gone down the feed, nobody's liking in that. I've gone and shared it with my profile to take note of what happens, and it got another 200 reach and another 8 likes or something rather like that, and another heap more comments. Because what Facebook does is it likes popular posts. So when I shared that, that's boosted it back up in, even though it's not their video, it's boosted back up in the feed again. Okay, so that one there, I really need the internet to show how you change it and how you can manipulate the feed. If you've ever used Gumtree, you know you can pay to bump posts to get your posts. Facebook operates the same way. Okay, so this is all organic, not paid ads. This one here, this is a serious subject. and it's very, very difficult topic to get people to share, okay? Because most carers are wary about sharing. What this one particular one did, they could share it because it's about autism onset stress similar to combat soldiers. People could share that, make it aware of how difficult their lives are without doing the poor me. So you can see here, now they don't have a great deal, that many people on their page. Nearly 40,000 people reached.
360 shares.
360 shares, and 300 reactions, and it's got viewed 28 more comments, so however many comments. Okay? And that's not with a big Facebook page, with a great deal of likes and everything on it, because they knew the message and what people would share. Okay, so you don't need to be a digital marketing expert, but you do need to know enough to be the captain of your own ship. Okay, you need to know what's going on in your business to make sure that your ship is going in the right direction, and you're not doing a whole heap of work because somebody said do it that isn't actually returning any benefit. Now, it's not always returning sales or monetisation, but it does. Everything you do should have a reason and a purpose, not just because somebody's told you to do it. That's it.
Well, that's, so if you want to know more, we're doing a workshop in this room actually on the 2nd and 3rd of December, which is what, about 7 weeks time. So if you want to learn more, it's a free 2-day workshop, and we're going to delve into this in a lot more detail. So you want to turn to the next slide, which oh, there it is.
If you guys haven't been, it's so worth coming.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's right.
Just quickly, this
It
is
just strains your brain a bit.
Yeah.
we've refined.
Yeah.
We've refined. Why it takes 2 days, so this is what I call the HubSite formula. So as I mentioned before, MC Sales, the Motorcycle Sales Network, 30 sites, 24/7 job to manage. Okay, so while it worked and while it was amazing and dominated search and everything like that, and this is before the days of social media, but Facebook was only just coming on. While it worked, I didn't have a life. Okay, so it was right. Okay, there needs to be a better way. This has worked, it's done it, but there's no way in the world a business would have the time to do it all. So that's why the HubSite formula comes about, and that's why the workshop's 2 days, because little bit of learning involved, and you need to sort of like be able to absorb that and have ask questions and be able to go through it.
Okay, we do what we call, I've made decisions this morning to send you. What do you charge for a service to set me up? What we call Ascent Creators. I've already got the page.
We'll catch up with you after.
Yeah, well, we look at, as I said, everything is with purpose. So if you go out and you get a quote for a website and things, and it's just okay.
No, I'm not coming to you. I don't do that.
No, sorry, but I'm just saying, if you don't know the purpose of what you're doing,
Yeah.
how can you have a plan to get to where you want to go? So it's an individual thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can have a chat and we can
that's
have a
fine.
look and see where you
Let's
need
do
to
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get in trouble with Phil on it. That's all right. Just lecturing doctors.
All right, thanks for your time this morning, everyone. We
Yeah,
really
thank
appreciate it.
Was that helpful, guys? You learned some things there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and look, like I was saying, it's not up there at the moment, but the 2nd and 3rd of December, if you were at the last one, you were there, Alan, and if you were there at the last one, you'll understand where that slide when she talks about takes 2 days to go through, because when you really understand how it all works and how much money people are wasting on stuff that they don't need to pay for, like, you know, how people are paying for on a monthly basis, search engine optimization, Google AdWords, Facebook, you know, Facebook ads and everything. You do the numbers, man, it is phenomenal. I work with clients and it gets into the thousands to do those things, and that's without the website, by the way. You know, and you have to do all of these things, and it's great. Even when Kim talked about like with the social media and Facebook and everything like that. Last time they spoke, I asked this question then, and I'll ask it then. Do you like Facebook?
No, not my favourite platform at all.
It's a tool. It's a tool. I don't like Facebook, right? So when I say that, it's like, just because you don't like it doesn't mean you still can't use it as a tool. That's all it is. And when you see them in their workshop where they talk about all of these things, how to utilize them best, how to get the best outcome, those three things we should talk about: the transactional, navigational, and informational searches. You know, you'll understand what you're doing and what are you doing? How are you doing? And is it the right formula and the right strategy for you? Because when you see all of that, you see them break it down, you realize, holy crap, I'm doing this totally wrong on the way it should be done. Because we've all kind of like do that, oh well, this is what they say they do, we'll do that. But because we don't know any better, we're almost messing it up. So, you know, I highly recommend that you come along if you get a chance. It's well worth the time spent on that, and you'll learn a whole heap.